like, look, we're making the new counterculture whether they want it or not. So who's going to run the non-woke answer to Newsarama or the non-autistic IGN?
Ladies and gentlemen, you know him. He's the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who's running IronAge.media, creating Anvil, the anthology.
Iron Age.
Iron Age. Who even knows?
Iron Age. Yeah.
My next co-host, the man who will absolutely make you change. And by making you change, what I mean by that is he is going to help you change from having that story in your head to putting it on paper and putting it into people's hands. And this is the man, the myth, the legend, Daniel P. Riley of whimsyland.org.
Number one Iron Age booty daddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Royce. Welcome back to A Drink with Crazy. I am buying a goat. I love goat. We have a show this evening, or we don't, and it all stops here. That's fine. And so cometh the Iron Age of media. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Iron Age Nights. What's going on, everybody? Oh, good. Daniel, what did you do? All right. Oh, Daniel found out how to work a computer, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a good night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We made it through another week. Yes, the camera is still at the weird angle. It's...
We're at the weird angle.
We're at the weird. Well, we've been at the weird angle for a couple of weeks, but I'm doing stuff back here. I'm actually getting ready to do totally new content for the channel, totally different things. I had to reorganize the studio, and I'm trying to tell people that hopefully Tuesday, if I get my act together this weekend, I will. I'm gonna do new video style. Talk about how the channel's going to go in the future and all that. I'm trying to say that so I get my audience hyped for it. They're not going to care. They'd be like, "No, we're done. We don't care. We're out." But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Iron Age Nights. This is the show that we do every week where we bring you a fantastic indie author or movie director or tabletop RPG creator or just an indie creator of just something fantastic. And this week, we get to reintroduce you to a fantastic... You guys already know who he is. You guys probably followed him before you followed me. But anyway, before we get to that fantastic conversation, we're going to say hello to the chat over on the bad website, the one that starts with an R. We're not allowed to say that. Are we allowed to say that on YouTube?
Rumble?
Yeah, that one.
Oh.
Yeah, the bad website. I have no idea. I've heard if you say it, they nuke your channel, but I haven't seen a difference. So
you talking about Rumble?
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
The bad website. Yeah.
What do you mean Rumble?
It's not my channel, so I'm
right.
Rumble, you say?
I'll wake up tomorrow and YouTube's going to be like, "Hey, we have completely nuked your channel. So when you see that, tweet Jay." And it's like, "Hey, at Team YouTube, why did you nuke my channel? You better retweet."
I'll retweet. Yeah, I'll
okay,
retweet.
Yeah, there you go. He's not going to say nothing. He'll just be like, "Oh, I'm just
like and repost."
Right. CS Ducks, what's going on, man? We got Brian McCoppin over there as well. Whimsy Lanter, you're on the stream. Stop double dip. God, you double dip. It's like Chicago voting.
I made a promise.
They get, dude,
I keep my promises.
They get on the stream and then they're in the chat. It's like Chicago voting. They have to speak their opinions twice. It's weird. Garham, what's going on? It's good to see you. Evely, music over there as well. John, you're on the stream. Stop it. Whatever.
He's contributing.
Yeah, I'm
trying to get spared.
Dice Spec, what's going on, dude? It's good to see you over there. Oh, good God. And Dottie, what's going on? It's good to see you over on Rumble as well. Over on YouTube, man. Got people flooding in. Hey, turns out all you have to do is get a really popular YouTuber, and then people will show up to your channel.
You don't
You
say.
picked the wrong person.
Dude, it's helping my algorithm. Anyway, Paladin Dragoon Rider over on YouTube. What's going on? Gorilla Mar, it's good to see you. Brian McCoppin, he's double dipping, doing. Aaron Wolfs at Wolfsbane Comic. What's up? Horizon Talker, how you doing, man? AC Pritchard, what up? We got Christopher D. Brand as well. Tim Allen in the chat as well. I do hope that you start feeling better. I'm sorry to hear that you're not feeling good, man. Redoubt Productions, what's up? We got Bat Sauce as well.
What's up,
over
Wicked?
Here. Karen M, how are you doing? I'm trying to catch up, and the chat's moving way too fast. It's good to see you, Karen M. We've got Everly Music. He says LGF, which is LFG, but if you swap the G and the F, it gets funnier. So, Madness Comic Network, what's going on, dude? It's good to see you down there. Swift Sword Rush, Maji Chin, awesome, stay based. What up? DCC, I'm trying to catch up before it jumps on me. The Ultimate Kahuna, who's been a member for 10 months, says, here you go, you filthy animals. God bless you. What's going on, dude? I'm not filthy. I showered. The animal
Allegedly.
I allegedly. People are like, Pixar, it didn't happen. No. No. Jason,
I can go on your only feet.
Oh, can you guys stop with that? That's so weird. I'm surprised there's not there. Actually, never mind. I'm not going to say that. Jason Hahn, what's going on? Animation Overload, what up, dude? Blight, how good to see you. Mike has bad knees, attacking me with that name every time. Construction was not nice to my body, ladies and gentlemen. The Ultimate Kahuna also came. Was that the Ultimate Kahuna? I believe it was. Yes, he did. Came in with a $2 super chat. Says Drunk 3PO. Helldivers?
Maybe later.
Maybe later.
I'm terrible at that game.
I have
people watch me to shoot other people.
Dude, I've not played it yet.
Friendly fire.
But I have a video that I'm going to prepare just to, because it's going to be funny. Because yeah. Anyway, Maji, wait, I already said hi to Maji Chan. I think, Wicked, what's going on? Wicked Virtue, hello, how are you doing? That's a new name to the chat. Michael D. And I say Michael D because I got a couple of Michael D's, and funny enough, I can't pronounce any of their last names. So they're all just Michael D's. Because I can't say it. And Maji Chan just gifted 5 a drink with crazy memberships. Holy crap, Maji. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you. Oh, good Lord. Caffeinated Wolf is here as well. What Geeks Do Network is here as well. Hail the war.
Can you tell Caffeinated Wolf he really sucks at Mario Kart?
What do you expect from a guy who thinks elves are better than orcs?
Should I do it in my announcer voice? Should I really ham it
an
up?
Announcement voice.
An announcer voice. All right, let's do this. And to Caffeinated Wolf, we would just love to let you know that you absolutely suck balls at Mario Kart. That's okay. One day, I promise, you can be a real gamer too. You just have to stop sucking the balls, and then you'll be able to be good at Mario Kart.
I'm clipping that.
Sorry. Was
Pretty
that too
funny.
over the top?
No, arguably
that
wasn't over the top enough.
Man.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you all so much for being here. If I missed you in the chat and I did not say hello, you can shame me in the chat because you're going to shame me anyway, so I might as well give you a reason. But ladies and gentlemen, the panel does look a little different tonight because Richard was not able to be here. He is actually traveling, but we did, however, reach out to the fantastic John A. Douglas, author of The Black Crown, to step in and help us out tonight to be a guest host. So, John, how are you doing, man? How's your week been?
Very busy, as I mentioned before the stream started. A lot of real life stuff involving my kids starting my son starting a trade school, and I have to be his ride because we can't afford the insurance. Because I mean that literally, our insurance would triple if we added him to it, and like it would be more than my actual car note. So I'm just sitting here going, oh my God, my son, I can't actually afford to give my son a way to drive himself. When I was a kid, my dad found a shitbox pickup on the side of the road and fixed it up and gave it to me, said, here. And I just went all over the place. But it's not a place to do that. So now, of course, right when I start a long form video that I've been talking about forever, I'm not even able to sit down hardly and record anything, and I make room for a few streams, but a lot of video content on my channel is kind of slowed down because of this. But I'm kind of coming through a bit of a clearing into next month, and I'm hoping to have some really good stuff out for you guys, making some better progress on Age of Adventures Book 2, and looking forward to just keeping up with everybody's streams and everybody's shows as best I can.
Dude, the one thing I wish is I had more time, because but like I always tell people, I hate sleep. Sleep gets in the way of so much. If I just didn't have to sleep, I could watch all the streams. I would have more time to work on YouTube. I still have my day job, obviously. Like if I could just get rid of sleep in my life, I could get so much more done. But
yeah, you ever see that comic, that little online comic strip of the little dude where he's looking at a wall, basically consisting of all the activities of his life? It's like home. It's like sleep and work and food and errands, different colored boxes. And he's holding a box that says video games. And he goes, boy, I really wish I could squeeze time in here for video games. And he looks up at the box that labeled sleep. And he starts pulling it out. He says, or do I have time? Like he's going to swap them out. Like, it feels like that. It really does.
It does, dude. It does, man. Well, man, yeah, the time thing. Speaking of time, a man who knows little about having time, because I hear what his daily schedule sounds like.
What's time?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't exist. It's a figment of your imagination.
What's sleep?
Which that could open up a wider conversation. Yeah, what's sleep, right? Yeah, right. But ladies and gentlemen, a guy who literally just works himself out of time between his own projects, working on other people's projects, the networking that he does, the man, the myth, the legend, who will help you get your story on the page, whimsyland.org.
He was waiting for it. Angry barking noises.
Angry barking. Yeah, it's a joke now. I'm not allowed to say your name. I'm actually going to train myself to not even say your name anymore.
You can try.
Once I commit to something.
Please don't give me an elaborate intro. Just say hi, Jay. We'll just keep the show moving.
Hi, Jay. How are you?
Howdy, Jay.
Thanks for inviting me here, everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Of course, man. Of course. Dude, I'm not a professional. I don't know how to do this.
So think about like when you watch like your favorite show, like do you want them to get right into it, or do you want them to like talk about the cast first for like 10 minutes?
It depends on the show.
It depends
on the cast.
Dude, I've watched Friday Night Tights and they take an hour to introduce people.
I don't know if that's really an introduction though. That's more like
well, it's not. It's
a little different, right?
Yeah. So, well, kind of yes and no. But no. And you're right. You're right. So, well,
I was just throwing that out there. It's
No,
your channel. Do whatever you want. Put your feet up on the desk if you want.
No, God, that would be horrible right now. That's not Dude, oh my God, the amount of chaos that would get, cameras would go everywhere. There'd be lights on the floor. I'd have a microphone smack the ground. Nothing about what you just said is advice that I'm going to take, except for the get to it quicker part. That's I like that advice. That's get to the finish faster. That's how I'm going to say that. You guys heard it here first. Drunk 3PO told me to get to the finish faster.
Oh, Lord.
That's what I heard. Is that not what you said?
That's pretty good.
All right. Anyway, man, how you been since the last time we saw you? I know you popped in for a quick second on our 1 year stream of doing Iron Age Nights.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I know you've launched a new channel in the last year since you've been here as an actual guest, which I have not checked out yet.
What channel is that?
The Pirates channel.
Oh, yeah. History of Pirates.
Yeah, the History of Pirates. And you're over what, 10,000 on that now? Or higher?
7. I just crossed 7.
Oh, 7. Yeah. So, no.
Who doesn't love pirates?
Different audience. Definitely a bunch of different people over there.
Right. So
when they find me like on Drunk 3PO, they're like, "Are you the pirate guy? Why are you talking about Star Wars?" Like, what's up? So
what's that like to launch a channel in a completely different genre and
it's
balance?
beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I should have done this all along. I was a history major in college, and it was
Oh, sweet.
Roman. It was actually like Roman history, so you couldn't like study pirates, but like just it just was always a fascinating
Right.
piece of history. Pirates, things like that, and we've romanced. Like pirates have just like their lore has just exploded.
Mhm.
They really weren't nice people, and they only lived like 2 years. They didn't really do much, but like
Yeah.
their lore has just like exploded.
Mhm.
Like you bring up the word Blackbeard and people could tell you 100 different stories, which probably only one of them really happened. And it just was a fun study. And like when I was with my brother, like I remember I was at my brother's, and like we just got so sick of like pop culture, right?
Mhm.
And we were talking about pirate. Like I got a Goonies tattoo. We were just talking about
Oh,
pirates and everything. And he was like, "Bro, why don't you just do that? Like, why don't you're just so happy every time? Like, why don't you do that? You got all the books, you've got like freaking all the old books and everything." I was like, "All right." So it's been fun, man. I love it. Like if I could just do that for a living, that'd be great. That'd
dude,
be great, man. It would be freaking awesome. But it's doing well. Like we shot up. It's only got 60 videos on it, and it's that evergreen content where
it's
you do
only
like
got 60 videos. How many videos a week are you cranking out on that?
like once every 2 weeks. I just don't have time. But
Well,
it takes a lot of study,
well, yeah.
and the views ain't like crazy or anything, but it's still
Well,
it's like every video keeps getting viewed. You know what I mean? Because it's like anyone could like search and find it if they want to learn about a different pirate, and then my channel will pop up. So we just launched a website for it too. That's really neat. And the Instagram already shot up over 1,000 followers, which is kind of crazy. So pretty cool, man. Like it's pretty cool. It's totally different. It's and then we do a live stream like once a month, and and it's just a lot of people show up for some reason. They're just like, it's nice to have a break from just all the crazy things. Like all the crazy things that's going on in the world. It's like
more Star Wars slop out of the sludge pipe
yeah,
of Disney.
it's like it's just something.
How about a Pirates of the Caribbean reboot?
Dude, you just spoke to me because that, like what you're talking about, it's just like getting away from all the sludge and just even talking about it.
Yeah.
And that was really what kind of hit me. Well, and it has hit me for a long time, but now I finally decided like, nope, doing it. I'm on my live streams will still always be the same, but my videos and what I'm doing in my videos, I'm going to get back to like, if you go back to earliest videos of this channel, I'm just going to talk about the fun stuff, man, because like we need that. And we can't forget that there still is fun in this world. Like it's not all bad, but
no, it's not all bad, but it's just, it just gets a little. Can you share my screen? It just gets a little heavy at times. Yeah. Where are your mods at, man? Come on, get me to 10K. A drink with crazy. You could do it. There it is. There. We're gonna be doing like the next 6 months. We're gonna be doing a top 10 series.
Our mod took off for this Friday.
Yeah,
you're hanging out.
I see like 1, 2. I see like 3 or 4 wrenches in the chat. So
yeah, they don't. Do
yeah,
that,
you're hanging out with Orc Boy and the drunk. We don't mess with
they.
But like
I am a mod, aren't I?
Some of the fun videos, like we did. We did a whole video on the history. You guys probably don't even know about this. The history of the Pirates of Darkwater. So we're just not like sticking with historical figures. We could talk about comic book pirates, movie pirates, things like that. So the history of the Darkwater, the Pirates of Darkwater was it was an awesome cartoon back in the day. That there's such a cool story. It's a crazy story with that. It was the most expensive. Really cool. It was the most expensive Hanna-Barbera production at the time, and they had every voice actor like the top. They had Peter Cullen, they had the lady from The Little Mermaid, they had Tim Curry, they had like the best of the best.
When did
And
this come out?
Right, it came out in like the 90s, right?
I've never heard of this.
Right.
Okay.
It's the greatest show that no one's ever heard of. So
it was awesome.
The 90s animation was full of shows like this, and
Right,
that
but
was one of them.
this show was the most expensive because for some reason they were doing something different, and it just to make it look better.
Mhm.
And so the whole concept was there was this dark water that was taking over the planet, this young prince, and he had to find the 13 treasures of rule, and they had to search the and then there was a big bad guy, a big fat bad guy, which is great because that's how they should be. And he was chasing after him, and
Mhm.
so every single character on the show had a crazy, amazing backstory. It's like they really took the time because they felt Hanna-Barbera felt. I remember like I was watching interviews for that video. They felt like this was going to be the next massive, like they're going to sell toys, video games, everything is going to be massive. Well, the problem was it cost too much, and because what they were trying to do, it took too long to get the shows out.
Oh,
So
no.
they had to get they had to constantly work harder to get these shows out, and they couldn't get them out in time. So they had to cancel the show. Then Hanna-Barbera was going through a sale, and it really sucks because by the time the video game, so that it never got an ending. It just stopped, right?
Yep.
And so like
finished
they got
work.
like seven or eight treasures. And I've got like all the comic books. The comic books are separate stories, and they're freaking awesome, dude. There's like 13 comics. I got every single one of them over there, and it just never. And then the video game came out, which if people that were fans of the show were like, well, if you play the Sega Genesis video game, you'll get the conclusion of the story. That's how we're gonna close it. And Warner Brothers been sitting on this thing, like no movies, no nothing. They had all this lined up for this show, like live action films and everything, and they just put it away.
Dude, and all right, knowing what we know about Warner Brothers, dude, they sit on so much,
Yeah.
and they've canned, like, and especially nowadays, they green light really bad things, and like they sit on good things.
I
and
bet
it's
they
like,
didn't even know
what?
they have this.
Oh, they
I-
fucking
And
don't.
even if they did, and they
It's
did
lost
try to
in the
bring it,
dusty corner of the vault.
right? Even if they did try and bring it back and like say give the Netflix treatment and bring it up for a live action remake, you know what they would do? They would try to turn it into a One Piece ripoff, basically. They're like, well, One Piece is popular. One Piece has all these elements. Try and shove that shit into this.
Yeah.
Because
Such a good story,
anytime they
though,
remake
man.
stuff, they always lose the
Dude.
heart of it, the core of it, what made it work to
So-
begin with. I can't tell you how, like that Rescue Rangers movie that came out a couple years ago. I love that cartoon.
Whoa,
I cannot
whoa,
tell you.
whoa.
What.
They did a Rescue Rangers movie a few years ago?
Yeah.
Yes and
Alvin and
no,
the
but
Chipmunks
We shall
style.
not speak of it.
no, it was bad. It was produced by Seth Rogen, and he was unfortunately in it as well. That made it worse.
Mhm.
They basically tried to. They turned it into some kind of a Roger Rabbit style real world
Yeah.
mystery where Chip and Dale were like, they were actors on the
Oh,
cartoon show.
God, I think I saw trailers of that.
Yep.
It was awful. It pissed me
What?
off.
I'm gonna stop inviting
hate
you
Seth
people
Rogen.
here. Like, we're usually happy and we talk about fun things, and you guys are just ruining
Sorry.
stuff for me.
No, the cool thing was
My
this-
plan
like,
has already worked.
Oh God.
2 weeks ago, I was at the GalaxyCon in Richmond, and I had the amazing opportunity to sit with Peter Cullen at dinner. And I
Get the hell
brought that
No
up. I was
way.
like, so about Pirates of Darkwater, and he was just like, one of the best shows. In his voice, like one of my best shows. He's like, every now and then we'd get the call that we're gonna finish the series, but it never happened. He talks like Optimus Prime. It's so cool. So
He was also in Rescue Rangers.
yeah,
Dude, Peter
Mhm.
Cullen is
he's freaking dude.
The
That was-
voice
that
of
was-
our childhood.
That was amazing.
dude, I freaking love oh God. Okay.
Stay on target.
What Target? I honestly didn't. Well,
Uh,
this is why I suck at like follow-up interviews, because I'm like, well, we already talked about like the book the last time and the inspiration for the book, and like we kind of know where it's going. Which, by the way,
There's a whole nother book.
I've been wanting to say this, and dude, I did the review. I listened to it. I did, and I put it out there. And I was trying to be like so non-spoilery. I think that actually hurt my review of Achromatic Chronicles Blue, because like I saw your highlights reel and I saw other people and I'm like, oh God, my review sucks.
No, it didn't suck.
Dude, so bad. Like there's so many good things in that book.
Speaking of the next book, Dreaded
Yeah.
Dinosaur, who's in the chat, is my artist for Green and for the Daughter's Revenge book that will hopefully come out at the end of the year.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. What's up, Eric? And I see Caffeinated Wolf throwing out a little information too, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Consummate PR guy.
With Rip Ascend, dude, that was really cool the way that you guys kind of like announced that, man. So as much as you can say, because we got Indy Andrew in the chat, and he'll be like, no, and he'll wave the white flag. Like,
No. Here's what happened with Eric July. But when Achromatic Chronicles Blue was getting ready to launch, I actually called him and tried to convince him to, like, I was like, can I launch on your website, man? Because can I launch on your website? And he's like, I don't know. He didn't mention anything, like that. This was something that he might have in the future. So I always kept bothering him about that when we'd be live, like on Geeks and Gamers Daily. I'd just be like, my next book's coming. Can I launch on your website? And at that time it was like a joke, and then,
right.
And then finally, he just sends me a text. He's like, I was live streaming somewhere. He's like, hey, do you want to call me after? And let's talk. And so I did. And that's like, this is what we are thinking about doing. Will it fit your project? And we talked for several hours, and I was like, yeah, I think it fits my project. So off we go.
Dude, that's so freaking cool.
It's pretty neat. We'll see what happens, like we're gonna see what happens. So that's all I know. It's like
be
this
friends
could
with
be a
Eric July
colossal.
and just poke him constantly.
I there's nothing really like. I mean, hopefully this works out really well, and it's a victory, and other creators that might fit what they're trying to do will be able to use this service. And
great idea.
There,
So what the first thing that I thought of when I saw the Rip Ascend stuff get announced is we'll get into a little bit of a serious topic that I have seen all over like indie Twitter. And there are a lot of people out there, and I don't like the way that the talking point is. I don't like it. I think it's garbage. But there are a lot of small creators who jump on the soapbox and they say that, oh, the large creators need to shout out small creators because it's like they're pulling up the ladder or whatever. And I'm like, just stop. And when I saw Eric launch Rip Ascend, I was like, oh wow, he's getting behind it. Like he's announcing to his audience, we're doing Rip Ascend, and small creators can get on it. And that was like his way of kind of sharing his audience with creators who get on Rip Ascend. Because that a lot of his, I don't know. I mean, maybe
I'll tell you the first thing that it brought my way was people I've never heard of before that just magically hate my guts for some reason.
Don't you love that?
And it's like, apparently I'm a terrible person and whatever. And there was like some things made up about it just hasn't stopped. And and for whatever reason, listen, it's the internet. People can not like what I have to say. They can hate me as a person. They could say whatever. I don't get in the mud with people.
Right.
I just, wish them well and just keep it moving. You know, I'm focused on my on what I have to do, what's best for me and my family. And sometimes when you do that, it will upset people. And it's just one of those things that, you know, that just happens. And I don't wish any ill will on anyone, but you know, it does get tired. Like my Twitter presence has really like backed off a lot, because it just gets tiring after a while. And
you can send them my way. I'm an antagonistic asshole on Twitter. Okay, I don't mind like, Thunderdome, and I will jump right in the mosh pit and love someone. I
hear you. It's just not who I am. It's just like, you know, I ain't perfect by a long shot, but it's you know, it's just I know that when Green drops, there's going to be a lot of eyes on me, on Eric, my artist, who's in the chat. You know, and I called him before I even made this decision. You know, I called and talked to him on the phone. I just said, you know, people are gonna go through this with a comb, and people are gonna go through this because they hate Eric July, and they're just gonna hate it because they hate him. They're gonna come out of the woodwork, bro. Like, I would never want to put him through anything. Like, you know, it's like if you don't think on the other side, I think it's gonna bring so many more eyes and opportunities and to a book that I really believe in, you know, that I think is a good book that I think parents and even adults alike will enjoy, that, you know, I worked on for years. And so, and if it wasn't for the success of the first book, I wouldn't be able to do this one or complete the series. Actually, there's 4 books in the series. And, you know, we're almost done with the 3rd one. So, it is what it is, man. It's the internet, and it's just, you know, you just got to do what you got to do, you know?
So I was watching, I came across a channel that likes to cover a lot of like the histories of like businesses and stuff like that. And I've just been addicted to this channel for the last few days because I just came across. I've already gone through like Henry Ford and J.P. Morgan and Carnegie, and then they were talking about like Coca-Cola. And it was like, oh, Coca-Cola, like the dark history of Coca-Cola. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to listen to this. And they get to a part where in like the 80s, Coca-Cola was losing to Pepsi. And they decided to change their formula to have a better tasting Coca-Cola. They called it New Coke. And they started talking about the phone calls. People sent in a thing. They said, you ruined the letters there. You have ruined my childhood. Because Coca-Cola changed their flavor. And I'm sitting there looking at this like, back in the 80s, they just didn't have Twitter. They were making phone, and that's just how people are. And it's like,
back then you had to go through effort to let your opinion be known.
But like, dude, people were so mad that Coca-Cola changed their flavor. They had to be like, you ruined my childhood. This is not you. What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm looking at this, and it's like, it's not even just the internet. It's just people. And I was sitting in my office at work listening to this podcast. And when they said people were sent, when they got to the part where they were like, it was a letter that was sent to them. It was like, you have ruined my childhood. I laughed. And I was like, oh shit, I hope my boss didn't hear that. Like, dude, I laughed loud. And like, I would have to laugh really loud for my boss to hear me. And I'm like, it's just, that's just how people are, man.
I mean, there's a beautiful quote that's out there that says, your friends do not need it, and your enemies will not believe you anyway. So,
right. Yeah. God.
You know, like if it comes to like just people just saying weird stuff about like it is what it is. It's the internet, man.
Yeah.
So
shit birds got a shit.
It's the internet. I got nothing but love for everyone. Like it's the internet.
No, dude, I get you there. I agree with you. Just backing off on the Twitter stuff. Like I get out there. If I see somebody promoting something, I'll retweet that and say, hey, this looks cool. But outside of that, I just disengage.
Well, I got 2 projects this year, so it's like I am like wrapped up in, and then I'm doing 10 cities with Gina Carano this year, and it is just it's a 2024, man. So it's like it's hard to keep my Drunk 3PO channel that has, you know, it's like it's hard to make videos on there right now, and it's hard to keep up with everything, and you know, just because of all the projects that are going on. Like I had like a heart to heart with my members. Like, I'm sorry, I'm like not making the videos like I used to in the streams like I used to. And they're like, man, go be great, man. Just go. And I love my community over there is unbelievable and amazing. And I wouldn't trade them for anyone. You know, I wouldn't trade them for 100,000 subscribers or anything like that. I take them to war with me any day,
Right.
you know, and they have just been so supportive. And, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm going to be working on a pirate channel. They're like, what? All right, well, we'll go over there too. It's like, it's crazy. So, you know, I'm just very blessed, you know, and I don't take any of that for granted. I see a lot of them in the chat now. It's like, you guys are awesome. I just don't take any of that. I don't take any of that for granted ever. Because one day, you know, it's
right.
It you know, one day YouTube could be like, we're done. So you know what I mean? Or whatever thing that we've built up, it just could be like, you're one notification away from your life changing forever.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I got a question for you, Jay.
Yeah.
Knowing what you know, knowing what I know about you with your love of the history of pirates and Pirates of the Darkwater, and, you know, you being this creator, you know what you got to do now, right? You got to make some kind of pirate-ish book.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, my friend, because hopefully, and if Eric's in the chat, he's got to work a little harder on those drawings. And hopefully by the end of October, November, he knows I love him. We're good buddies.
I was gonna say, you're cracking the whip on stream? God.
We are
we're
going to be dropping a trilogy series, a graphic novel called The Daughter's Revenge. When I got out of the Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, I was so disgusted with that film because I was like, that was my cinematic hero, I guess.
Yeah,
you know, that was my guy, Indiana Jones. And I was like, all right, well, they've ruined him. So now it's like, it's time to do our own thing. I called up my friend. We spoke for like 4 hours. We wrote this trilogy together. We put it all out. And I'm like, what are we going to do with this? Is awesome. So it's going to be a pirate that's like Indiana Jones that goes hunting for religious relics. And it's called The Daughter's Revenge. The only thing I could really say about it is that it's not for kids.
Well, sir.
And we're gonna have real historical pirates and their stories mixed into this. It's just gonna be awesome. And the co-author of this, he is a blacksmith and he's forging real cutlass swords. That's gonna be part of the package. We've already got I don't know if I have them. Yeah, if you want to buy, there's only gonna be like 5 or 6 available. They're not gonna be cheap. We also have like pieces of 8 that's going to be part of it. I have them somewhere. Like, and so he's made a bunch of them.
I do like swords,
dude.
I got them in a box somewhere. They're not here in front of me. But
it's guys like you that make the rest of us go, okay, it's time to step it up. We've got to step it. Like, if we're going to keep up with guys like you, like the rest of us schlubs and indie creators, we got to step it up.
So the original, like, I was reading this is the first book on pirates ever. A general history of pirates. Actually, was spelled with a Y instead of an I back in the day. This came out in like 1722. So we're gonna sell this too with it. So we got the rights to this book. We're gonna redo the cover, do some of the front, and that'll just be a side. Like, if you want to get it, that's great. You don't have to, but we have all that stuff wrapped up into this book called Daughter's Revenge. It's about a guy. He's part of the Royal Navy. His family is a missionary. They're all missionaries on an island in the Caribbean. Daughter's Revenge. Something tragic happens to his family where he's forced to become a pirate and find a religious relic. That's pretty much all I have to say. It's a crazy story that takes place during the Golden Age. And the real pirates, Sam Bellamy, Mary Read, and some others are all going to be in this book. And we're going to put it, and it's all working together in a timeline. We sat down for like an entire year. We Bibled this book, this trilogy. It is fantastic. And Eric's going to be working on it once he's done with Green. You know, no rush. Take your time, brother. You know, it's all jokes and love over here. But in the meantime, we're making pieces of 8. We're making a real life. Not everyone can buy the sword because depending on where you live, I don't know if you're allowed to have that. But
oh shit!
sword.
about
We're gonna have the very first history book on pirates available. We're gonna have the graphic novel available. We're gonna have and on my History of Pirates channel, we're gonna do videos on the characters. So if you want more, you can just go and find like a whole documentary on the particular character. And we're also gonna let people be in the book if they want, you know, to be a character as well. So like we're going all in on that series that hopefully will be dropping at the end of the year.
If I become a character in there, can I select my method of death? I would love to be keel hauled.
Maybe, yeah. But what I love about this is this is not your typical pirate story, because it will have typical pirates. But when people think of pirates, it's like drinking rum, sleeping around, killing people. This is a Christian that is dealing with the fact that he thinks God wants him to take revenge on people that hurt his family. So he is struggling with his faith in this. When he goes to port, he doesn't go to the bars to drink. He goes to church while his other friends go to the bars and drink, and they don't understand. And it's pretty. His Jolly Roger, which we just got trademarked, is pretty impressive. So you have to like. I'm really, as you can tell, I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about this story.
So
I'm already excited about it.
And Razorfist has a Christian revenge gunslinger.
Yeah, so it's like
And,
a Jolly Roger. He's got a crown of thorns on his head.
That is cool.
And that says
fantastic.
revenge. So yeah, so it's trying to tap into, while there is pirate activity and people that like pirates will get all that in this story, you're still dealing with this one particular person is still dealing with, is this what God wants me to do? You know, so it's a
great
awesome
internal conflict.
Well, I know, like, and not everyone in the chat, and Good Friday to whoever's people of faith, like every walk. If you live long enough as a Christian, you'll have moments of doubt. You'll have moments of, am I supposed to go left or right, God? And He don't tell you. You know, am I supposed to do this? And you also have these moments as a person of faith where tragic happens in your life. And you were like, where the heck were you, God? You know, like, are you freaking real? Like, here I am. Like, and why did you let this happen? So it's like dealing with that type of heavy emotion with people of faith and putting that into the story on top of making it fun as an adventure and, you know, things like that. So it was a lot we poured into this thing. So
I'm sold.
It's gonna be wide.
So
but make sure you get green first, because that's gonna be just as amazing.
No, absolutely. Okay, so let me ask you this really quickly, because you just, you know, you talk about all the feelings and the emotions, the thematic elements and all that. Was there a particular writer or book series or anything like that you really thought about putting all of those? Was there a writer that you were like, man, I want to put all these things into this book? Who did it best? Who can I take inspiration from? Was there anybody who you took inspiration from in style or anything like that?
Not in style, but I think a lot of it came from, like, actually the I have every single Indiana Jones comic book that was ever made.
That's cool.
In mint condition over here on my rack. And I always, as a Christian myself, I always, you know, it's like nobody really talks about, sometimes we have these internal struggles with our own faith when something happens, or when you see the world burning, you're like, what the heck is going on here? Like, what is, and so I just wanted to see what that would be like, put that in a story. So I didn't really grab from anyone, but, you know, I am a massive, like, books that I read are like biographies. I love those type of stories. I like biographies a lot, because I think everybody has a cool story to tell, whether they think they have it or not, you know. And it's not about the places they've been or the things that they, you know, that they own. It's just like who they are and how they walk the earth, you know, like what was it? Like, why do some people love to stay at home and, you know, stay at home? Like, why do some people can't, you know, they can't keep 9-to-5 jobs? Why do some people like to paint? I hate painting. I'm a terrible painter, but some people like to paint. You know, it's like, why do some people like raising chickens? I would never want to do that, but some people love it. You know what I mean? And it's
You
like,
don't need to attack my wife.
I'm not. I'm just saying, it's just like I find enjoyment in seeing other people's passion in the projects that they have. And as someone that, and I think I talked about this last time, as someone as like maybe, what was it, like 7 or 8 years ago, was just went through a horrible experience in my own life and just found myself becoming a shampoo bottle, basically waking up, going to work, coming home, and repeat, and waking up and having no purpose, feeling like I had no value, not really making any money, but just getting on by, right? Just getting on by. And I don't think that's living. And I think there's a lot of people that live like that, not knowing that there are passionate things inside of them that they should be doing to give to this world, whatever it is. If it's art, if it's listening, some people are excellent at mathematics that can help other people, like, you know, balance their checkbook or something like that. There's so many things out there. And it's like, once you step into a passion that you have, you see the world differently. It just becomes beautiful, you know, and not everyone's going to understand it. Not everyone's going to like see the same way that you see it. But for yourself, it's like that's living a life, you know. That, I don't know if that makes sense, but
no,
very much so.
But I had to get to a point where I credit my brother all the time. He came over, you know, and he was just like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like get off your butt and like, you know, go out, like touch grass, right? Basically what it is. Like, stop watching Seinfeld, right? Like, you know, every episode, that's a little too much. Okay. It's funny. I get it, but go do something. This isn't who you are. Like, this isn't who you're supposed to be. So it was a nice wake up call.
That's
you know?
That's a big thing too. You just said it's not who you are. It's not who you're supposed to be. And figuring that out.
I don't know if you ever really figure it out, but I think you're on the journey.
Yeah, I think you get closer to it.
Yeah,
agreed.
Because I've said this to my wife for years. That God, I hope on my deathbed I'm the man that I know I need to be.
Why on your deathbed? Why not today?
Because I look at it this way. I'm always chasing after the man that I want to be tomorrow. I always want to be better today than I was yesterday. And there are things that I know today that I didn't know 5 years ago about myself.
Right.
And
being gay is one of them. I had to. I'm sorry.
No, that was fair. That was fair. But
it was good timing. I was looking for a moment.
In 5 years, there are going to be things that I know about myself that I don't know today, right? And so I'm always
gay.
Nah, it's a journey that everyone is on. You know,
it is,
like
man.
everyone. And the thing is, like, everybody has to remember, you got one life, man. Don't waste it.
Nope.
Don't waste it worrying. Don't waste it like wishing you had this. Don't just get out there. I always try to tell people, if you could just take one little step closer to a goal that you have, it's still progress. Like, the hardest thing to do is it's okay to have goals and stuff, but like when you compare yourself to someone that's here and you're right here, you're gonna feel like a failure almost every time. And it's like, stop doing that. Like,
yep,
you know.
Run
your race.
Compare yourself to others as well, because I think that's where a lot of the resentment and jealousy that you see a lot online, especially in the indie comics scene, starts to come from. I'm more in the prose side of the indie spaces with the novels, but you don't see a lot of that over on the indie side. There's a lot more of the rising tide lifts all boats mentality. But to kind of go back to what
I think
you
it's
were
who
saying
you surround
about
yourself with, though, man. That's the thing. Like, you can be around people that will constantly bring you down. You can get into the mud with people if you like, or like, you keep your circle small. Like you said, if someone else is rising, we all go together. And even if it's not like, you know, like some people's goals could be financial or it could be whatever it is, but it's giving you knowledge to even rise up with you, you know, like it's just what happened.
Not laughing at you, I'm laughing at Daniel in the chat.
My
If I can drop a
Oh,
little
I don't
here,
have the
'cause-
chat up. I don't know what's going on.
Sorry,
it's
I'm taking scalps tonight.
yeah.
If
Daniel.
I
Oh, that's
can
okay.
interject one thing, what you were saying about, you know, being able to find
I'm
yourself and
sorry.
your purpose. I'm follow someone who was an indie author years ago. He's kind of found his niche as a clinical therapist and stuff. Now he said something that's resonated with me for a while, and that men need three things to be happy. They need a purpose, they need a mission, and they need the power to accomplish that mission. And if they have all three, they will crawl through broken glass with a smile. And when you look at that from the creative aspect, if you're a creatively driven person and you apply that to what you are doing, you will find that kind of emotional fulfillment. Because as great as it is to get your first book out, there's always the next one as well. And a lot of us authors, we're thinking 5-6 books ahead. We're thinking, you know, what's coming up in the future.
18.
Yeah. And, you know, finding what drives you and applying those three principles, I found is something that's been very emotional.
My biggest problem is I dream too big now. Like I'm looking at books, but I'm looking at movies.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
so I'm already in the talks of like, we're doing an animation. Well, who's going to watch it? I don't know. We're going to get it done.
Right.
You know, I'm at all these freaking Comic Cons. I meet tons of voice actors that I've become great friends with. I'm like, how do I do this? Will you be in it? I can't pay you, but will you be in it? You know, like it's just, you know, I'm just that guy. You know, I'm 6'4", 275 plus, right? I'm a big dude. I tower over everyone. So it's like, hey, I need to ask you a question. They're like, okay, God, who's this guy?
You're gonna be in my animation.
Yeah, it's like,
well, okay.
you know,
I'm not paying you either. Okay.
Again, it's like, you know, I was a 5th grade school teacher in a classroom making $29,000 a year and coming home. And, you know, I thought that was just going to be my life forever. And
Me
that
too.
would be the end of it. Right. And so now, you know, God is just, I don't know why, but he just blessed me with the whole thing with Gina, and like now going to the cons and then becoming friends with these people, and people like Matthew Marston was a huge, I don't know if you know, he is the actor. He is, I got his number. I've known him for like 2 years now. And it's just like, anytime I have questions about like, how do you get a movie on Netflix? How do you get it on Amazon? He's like, oh, well, here's the process, Jay. And it's fascinating, right? I'm like listening and he's just like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, it's just that easy. Like, is it just that easy? He goes, just that easy, man. So it's like, all right. So it's just, the information is there. You just got to get it, right? And you just also got to like not be rude about it, but you won't have it unless you ask, you know?
See, that's my, I think that's one of the biggest hindrances that I have is there are people that I could reach out to ask for like tips and things, like doing like the YouTube thing. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to bother them.
Oh, listen, I've reached out to several people that have said, I'd love to have you, I just can't right now. No problem. It doesn't offend me. You know what I mean? Because this is my, like, when the computer goes off, when the phone, when I put this down, that ain't my life, right? That's not my life. I got a whole, this is a green screen, right? I wish this was my basement, but it's not, you know? So I got a whole life.
One day, right?
Over there. And I mean, I got half of it. You see the arcades?
Right.
So I still got them.
There
like,
you
there's the
go.
arcades
There you go.
there.
Oh, you got a nice green screen. That's cool.
Yeah. That's where the magic happens. But it's, you know, it's, there's so much more to life than what's on Twitter and all that stuff.
Twitter is not real life.
Dude,
also,
well, I'm not
Royce,
saying
you know,
I'm
Wussy.
just saying in general.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I was like, man, did I fuck that up and say that?
No,
I
you
was
didn't.
just saying
No, you
I don't
didn't.
like to reach out to people because I know they have a life outside of the interwebs, right? Like, you know, I mean, just
no, that's
but
what I'm
people
saying.
will get
Like,
back to you.
if people tell me no, you know, it's like that's fine. It is what it is.
No,
you know, like whatever. So
I absolutely agree, dude.
Quit being a wussy.
Quit being with.
I think that's a big problem with a lot of people, and it's okay because it's like getting over that hump of like asking for help. We're very prideful, especially men. Like we could do it ourselves. I don't need no help, right? I don't want no one helping me. And
I
it's
always
like
want people helping me.
getting over that
I don't have enough
hump
time.
Well,
of like I can't care what other people are going to think about what I'm going to do and the decisions that I make. They're either going to like it or they're not. And what are you going to do, man? Like,
It's awesome.
dude, I will say this. Like I said,
it's not easy. I mean, it's not like water off your back, but it's like
asking for help, man. That's something that I don't want to impose on other people. That's like the fear that I have, right?
I know, and I know that about you. That's why I reached out when your freaking computer broke, because I was like, "How can I help you,
dude?" Yeah. Well, it's so
freaking
funny.
retard. You're not going to ask anybody, so
No.
gonna...
Well, it wasn't the computer, dude. It was my soundboard and I was in the process. I was going to start warranty work and all that, and like a subscriber of mine, and I won't name drop, but like he'd already sent me some stuff in the past, and he goes, "Hey, a new one's on the way," and I was like, "Oh." And so I was getting ready to, I unplugged the thing like completely, which I'd already done. And I was like, all right, before I send it off, because I have warranty on this one. And I was letting every guys, like, I'll get it. Like, it's a good warranty. Like, I can set like up a temporary thing. And I was like, well, all right, I'll plug the one in just one. You know what I mean? All right, just before I start the whole warranty process, because that's a nightmare. I'll plug it back in, and it fires right up. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So I've reached out to my subscriber. I'm like, dude, it fired back up. Like, as soon as the one that you sent me gets here, I'm like, I'll send it back. Like, that way you get your money back, this, that. And he literally responds. He goes, no, dude, I was going to spend that money just to meme on you. So this is probably a better use. So I was like, what the, what? And I believe him. I absolutely believe. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, nah, dude, it's fine, man. You're good. He's like, now you have a backup if for some reason this one ever goes on the fritz again. And I was like, dude, God has blessed me. You talk about God blessing you with good people and surrounding yourself with good people, man. I'm like, I don't deserve that, but that was, and then
no one really deserves it, but here they are.
Yeah. Well, and then you reached out to, and then, well,
I didn't know what was wrong. Like, I have extra computer parts, right? So it was like, maybe I had what he broke. Yeah. So if I did, I'd ship it out. So
yeah, no, dude,
you wouldn't be the first person I've done that for.
That was surprising to me too, that you reached out. I was like, why is Jay messaging me? That's weird. And then you're like, hey, dude, what's going on? And I was like, why is he asking what's going on? And like that meant a lot. I think
I was gonna ask for like special pics or something. Like, hey,
no. Well, no, I mean, like
free access to OnlyFeet.
Jesus, dude, you took it there. Oh my God, no, I was just surprised. Like, I just, because we run in the same spaces and stuff like that, but we've got different crowds that we talk to and stuff like that. And just that you reached out, I was like, whoa, that's really cool.
Well, my Twitter now is, I had to get it off my phone, right? Because it could get addictive. So it's like, if I'm in front of my computer, then I'll see like the messages and all that stuff. But when I'm not in front of the computer, it's like, like, just don't, So I just happened to be on when that happened. So
yeah, no, dude, it was stressful, but like it worked out. And again, by the grace of God and by the
awesome,
charity of the people that are in my life, like, and that really, you talk about getting the kick in the butt, you get the kick in the butt. Like, no, you've got it. That really, because I was thinking of, oh no, I'm gonna start making new content, being better, doing the stuff that I've wanted to do for years, and I haven't. And when that happened, and I saw not just you, but so many other people reach out, and then obviously the subscriber of mine that gave me a replacement, I was like, that's the kick in the butt that I needed, because I've been really focused on value lately, right? Like providing value for the people that are here, and not just and trying to give them more value than what I can. That's just been in my mind so much. And when that happened, and I saw how many people reached out to me, and people were like, dude, and I was like, and like I had the warranty, like I could get it
so
figured
let
out.
me
I
just
was
tell
like,
you this: you already provide value, man. If not, people wouldn't reach out to you. They'd be like, "What a bum."
yeah, I know,
He
but
deserves.
like,
He probably's got roaches in his computer. That's why, it's probably what happened. He probably
Like,
just like it's probably
well,
dirty,
Spilled
feet
too much
all over and
White
stuff.
Claw on it.
Yo, oh my God, Hail the Lores in the chat. What's up, dude?
yeah,
Your Twitter is woo.
dude.
You'd think I'm bad on Twitter.
Dang, Hail the Lores.
I will say
good
this.
Lord.
I had Hail the Lore was going back and forth, and like my For You was just all Hail the Lore going back and forth, and I was like, I'm gonna mute him for today. And then and I unmuted him the next day. I was like, I just need him to calm his tits for a day, and then I unmuted him.
Royce, I shared a little something down below, a little bit of words of wisdom when it comes to
Down
marketing.
below, he says.
Yeah, down below. I think you might find something.
I like being the shameless self-promoter.
If it's good enough for DDP, it's good enough for everybody.
That's right. Bro, I also learned, listen, man, when I started selling stuff like these hats, like 9line Apparel, when 9line Apparel came, that's a whole nother story. That was a blessing too, but I'm like, I don't want to do that to my people. Like, I don't want to be like, can you buy this shirt, everyone? Like, can you buy it? And it's like, someone reached out to me and they literally were like, Jay, you're being stupid. Like, I think people might want to buy your Rebellion stuff. Maybe they want to buy, like, how do people know you have it to offer if you don't get out there and like say something and pitch yourself and sell yourself and get out? You got a freaking social media, use it. Do you believe in your product? Yeah. Are you wearing it? Yeah. Do you wear it when you go out? Absolutely, all the time. He goes, then shut up and sell your stuff. Changed my mentality 100%. And he's like, don't be freaking, don't be, he's like, don't be a girl. Oh, dude, the guy was like, he was using more colorful metaphors than that. But, he was just like, stop being a girl and get out there and like show people your stuff. So, when this shirt dropped like a few years ago.
Yeah, I remember that, dude. I remember that. I remember watching Friday Night Tights.
Yeah.
And they pulled it up and the numbers were just was it Friday Night Tight? No, it was.
It might have been Geeks and Gamers, but
it might have been, it was one of the live streams. Tuesday night's main event wasn't even a thing yet. I think when you launched that, but I remember and I was just like, holy crap. And then they sold out.
Yeah, we saw. So like 9line was nuts, like, we don't know who this guy is, but because they usually have like 2A people, like people in the gun community. And so here I am, like just Jay, right? And they're like, we don't know who this guy is. And so when we set the record for hat sales, like the owner,
I knew who you were then.
They called me the next. He goes, all right, we're flying you out to like Savannah. Like, who are you? Like, what? How did you outsell the Undertaker in hats? He goes, no one outsells the Undertaker.
No way.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
So
that's
the first Rebellion
baller.
hat was like the gold. It was gold. It said the Rebellion. It was just the black. And yeah, so that thing. They were the first meeting we had with them. They were like, "You think you'll sell like 10 hats? Can we at least get 10?" And I'm like, 10? I'm like, what's the record? And we're like, I don't know, like 1,200, 1,300. And I was like, I think we'll do more than 10. So we launched it, and yeah, we sold 1,500 in 20 hours. Nice. And then at the time, like it was cool because we were using a lot of that money to build a home in El Salvador. We finished, like, I think people that were with me back then knew, like, we were raising money to build an orphanage in El Salvador. So I was like, just divert the funds from these shirts and stuff over there and we'll get it done. And we got it done easy, Then they flew me out to Savannah and they're like, all right, who are you? Like, how do you sell someone? And I began to introduce 9line Apparel to like video game streamers and like nerds culture and geeks and stuff like that. And so, and they were just fascinated. They're just like, you talk about Star Wars and all these people watch you. So it's like, yeah, imagine that. Imagine that one. So it's cool. And they've been awesome. So
dude,
it's been awesome.
That was That was one of those things when you started doing that, and then obviously Eric July's, moving on to comics and doing his thing. And then you got Epic Mike and Josiah, they're moving on, they're doing movies, and I'm sitting here watching the guys that I've watched for a long time. Some of you guys I've watched, for longer, and some I just pop in for a video here and there. But like all these guys who I've like been paying attention to, like they're leveling up, and I realize I'm like, man, these guys are all going to get to a point where like they've gone beyond YouTube, and people need to be there to kind of fill in that slot when you guys level up beyond that. And that
Dude, once these books are done. I'm just doing the Pirate Channel, baby. I'll make guest appearances every now and then, but I'll be good,
dude. But see, that's
like
what I'm
4
saying.
years down the road, but yeah.
But dude, that's what I'm saying is like you guys are well, and then Gary and Critical Drinker, they were just on with Pierce Morgan,
Yeah,
right? And I'm watching these guys that I've watched on YouTube, and I'm like, these guys are going to level up above and beyond the YouTube space and move on and do their own things. And there's going to be a next generation of people to come in, and it's like, well, we better get on it now,
Well,
and that's kind of how I thought about it.
100%, because like I said, the fact that I'm traveling with Gina Carano, right, at these conventions, and other people and this is how I met Daniel Logan, who played Boba Fett in Attack of the Clones. He saw me backstage, and he runs up and puts his arms around me. He's like, "You're the drunk droid guy. I love your channel."
You're the drunk
And it took me like a moment to be like, "Who the freak?" Like, oh my God, it's Daniel Logan, right? So we talked and everything. He goes, "Man, you rip Star Wars to shreds, dude." It's like, it's just, you never know who's watching, man. Like, you never know who's watching. He's not the only one, too. Like, there's others that are like, "I seen you on YouTube, man. I seen you on YouTube." And it's like, holy crap, you've seen me on YouTube? Like, I watch your movies, man. Like, what's up with that? So it's you never know. Right? Like you never know. So
that's so freaking cool, dude.
It's pretty awesome, man. It's like it's a cool feeling. But like I said, like enjoy every moment of it. Enjoy every. I'm enjoying like going to these conventions and collecting autographs and like selfies with people that, it's just, you grow up watching. Anthony Michael Hall was there in Richmond. And not too many people know who he is, right? He was like more of a younger, like he was in Weird Science.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
remember
like
him.
every young boy watched Weird Science and got like, yeah, that's the dream. We're nerds. Yeah, we want to create a woman, like, and have her, say, let's take a shower together, right? That was like every teenage boy. So he was in that movie,
Weird Science. I haven't thought about that movie in a hot minute.
He's like, I don't know how old he is. He's like almost 60, but he was just such the coolest guy, telling stories in the back. And I'm like, man, this is awesome, man. Like, this is so, his lines aren't, he's not really in the spotlight. So his lines aren't as long as I thought they might be, but he's just loving every moment of it. And you get to see these people, that you watched growing up, and just listening to their wisdom about like living in the moment and knowing that it's the greatest job in the world, and just be happy in where you are and never be unthankful, always be thankful even in the worst days and stuff. It's very telling. And there's other people back there too, total turds, like
right.
Well, Jay, never let it.
Never see him again. You're like, oh, I ain't sitting near that guy. It's a freaking turd.
Don't come out of this era of YouTube and think that you guys, and like, I know y'all don't use the hashtag anymore, but the folks who were in and around and kind of got big with the Fandom Menace hashtag, that y'all didn't have an effect. Obviously, it created an awareness, no matter how much the detractors want to try and shoot you down.
Oh yeah.
And say that you're just a bunch of angry, toxic haters. the fact that Drinker and Gary have grown to the size that they are proves that they have a message that resonates with people. And even the channels that are kind of coming up echoing that, they created something. They created a community around the message. Hey, this corporate crap that we're being given is not that good. And I mean, Gary's channel inspired me to make my channel for what, little it's worth, even though I can't keep up with the pop culture news cycle. But you guys have all ended up inspiring others to do the same thing, because they're like, I agree with what they're saying. I understand, and I'm looking at this in a way I didn't, because I used to watch movies and be like, and just brain off, no critical thinking. And then sometimes I come away going, that kind of movie kind of sucked, but I didn't think about why until I started watching YouTubers then. And they're like, this is kind of why this movie isn't that great. I'm like, oh, and then I started thinking more, and that made me want to, expand on my own.
Well, my channel started as a joke. Like, it was a therapy set. I have, I'm not shy to say, like, I went through a really bad divorce like 8 years ago, and like I had to go to therapy. I was just a freaking mess, dude. Like, I just didn't. Hey, it's all in the past, man. Life is good, and it was just a rough moment in my life, and the therapist was like, you need to do a hobby, man. Like, what do you like? I was like, I like Star Wars, like, and they're like, why don't you go on YouTube and just I didn't know anything about it. So it just kind of started as a joke. I found like two other people, and we did a little Star Wars live stream in front of 2 people. I thought it was the coolest thing in the entire world, right? It was awesome. Somebody's listening to what I had to say. And then someone was like, you should just make a video, Jay. And I'm like, I don't know anything about that. My first few videos, I had a snowball microphone, right? Y'all know what those are?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like a Yeti snowball, right?
I actually, unironically, to people who are getting into it and they're on a budget, when they're
great.
Hey, dude, get though, you're not, I was like, watch a couple of videos on how to position it. You'll say, hey, there it is. There it is.
Yeah. So a friend of mine, because I didn't have the money at the time, they gave me one.
Yeah.
And I didn't have anything.
Sorry. He tanked his setup.
I see that. I didn't know where to play. I didn't have a computer.
Never eat on stream.
I recorded my videos on my phone. So I held the microphone I was talking into it, but it wasn't even on.
The first YouTube video I ever did, it wasn't actually on this channel. It's actually, I played Airsoft. I didn't have a microphone at all. So I literally went through, I edited the whole video, and I recorded all of my lines onto my phone. And then I sent that voice track through email or Dropbox or something to me. And then I pulled it off and I plugged it in, and my God, it sounds horrible, but I did it. There's where there's a will, there's a way. You could do it.
Oh man. Like I said, it was just, I didn't even, I recorded on my phone, and I held the snowball that wasn't plugged into anything because I thought it looked cool. And can you highlight Mr. Hat super chat?
I can.
Look at that. Are you Haitian, Mr. Hat? You said my Haitian brother. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
You speak Creole, Mr. Hat?
So
Haiti's going through a rough. Our home is going through a rough patch, brother. So let's say sac passe. I can speak Creole, but he's not. I don't know if he.
No, right?
Yeah.
Well, sorry if I don't highlight the super chats and stuff. I usually.
Oh, sorry. I forced the host to do that. Sorry, guys.
Are you Canadian, Jay?
No.
You said sorry first.
Then stop apologizing.
Oh, okay.
For stuff you don't need to
stop
apologize.
apologizing.
I'm Canadian, though. I legit. That's actually not even a lie.
That's hilarious.
The only thing that makes me American is the fact that I was.
I'm
born
Florida.
Here.
I'm a Florida man. Come on.
Oh God.
We have guns. We have guns everywhere. I got alligators in my backyard.
I have friends.
I'm in Louisiana. It's the same way.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, you got
man.
your alligators a little more. Our Florida alligators are kind of retarded. Like they're like squirrels. So
Well, ours are a little more wily because they
Yeah.
understand that if we catch up to them, we're going to eat them.
yeah, ours like they'll be in our backyard and you'll just open the door and they'll look at you and then they just take off back into the water. They're like, is he gonna step on me? And then he's out.
Dude,
So-
I was watching
I've been noticed.
I was watching a barbecue channel, and they went out and they caught a gator that day, and they obviously couldn't show it on YouTube, but they're like, "Hey, look, we caught a gator!" And then they show, "Hey, look, we quartered the gator," and then they barbecued it, and I was like, "Oh, I want to do that."
Yum.
I would do that. Have you ever had like I've had what I don't know, I'm assuming is gator. They called it alligator tail, but have you guys ever had like fresh alligator?
Yeah,
In a
Is it-
minute.
What do you think?
it's not for me.
It's a little tough.
I guess it
and it can
depends
be
on
an
how you-
acquired taste.
Yeah, it depends on how you cook it. I think
that
I've
too.
heard other people cook it like steaks. They cut the tail in slices, and then there's other people that usually put it in like a nuggets. So like little nuggets into like a sauce.
I've always
So,
wanted to try
both times I've had it, I was just like it was like either it was the person who cooked it or whatever, but it was like salty.
I always
a little
thought
too
doing like
salty
an
for me.
alligator gumbo would be good.
Yeah,
They have
get
that too.
better in stuff.
This is
rather than
Royce.
by
He's gonna
itself.
smoke the alligator.
I'll smoke the alligator. Bring me an alligator. I'll smoke. I'll cook anything.
No, that
you
I
want
haven't
to.
tried.
That probably would be really good. That sounds good.
I've had smoked turtle soup before. That was interesting.
Yeah, that's good.
Dude,
eats.
I'm gonna make this summer.
for
I'm gonna
me.
make smoked chili. I'm gonna do smoked chili on the smoker. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, since the last time I guess not the last time I saw you because we saw you just recently, but yeah, no, I built a smoker. So yeah, that was
That's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah, 125 gallon smoker, man. I'm passionate.
It's your money's worth, right?
Yeah, dude, you have no idea. Because ones that size and like solid steel, welded, everything. Yeah, they're $5,000. After buying the tools and like a little welder that I could plug into my wall and stuff, I did not pay $5,000. I paid.
Yeah, little advice to all the kiddos out there and people learning how to weld is a pathway to many very cool things, including the ability to build something you can sell. Like it is underrated in like both trades and just like as a creative outlet because holy shit, the stuff you can make.
Oh, dude, the stuff I've seen some welders make so many cool because I like my early job was around welders, dude. So many cool things. You want to talk about guys who are creative?
That's pretty awesome.
Dude, welders are.
Oh, it looks like you got a response, Jay, from
I see
Mr.
that.
Hat.
We'll have to remember that. Put a pin on this for the blue collar stream, Royce.
Yes, yeah, that's right. When are we gonna do that? You said you were setting that up.
I am working on the intro for it. It's going to be short and fun, and when I get a good little chance to, when I get that done, and we'll start talking about who can be in it. People that we know who are
Sweet.
blue collar by trade and have a lot of really good stories. Honestly, man, you and I could probably feel the thing by ourselves, just between the two of us.
But
sorry, Jay, not to distract too much.
Men talking about working with their hands.
Well, we've decided that this is going to have to be a Rumble only
Beer.
because
We got to fucking cuss, man.
not even that, dude. The things that you get because we know somebody's going to slip. We know somebody's going to slip. Like you can't get a bunch of construction workers and a bunch of blue collar guys on stream starting to tell the stories that we're going to tell and have the jokes land the same, and somebody's going to slip. So we're like, this will be Rumble only. Like we can't do this on YouTube.
I mean, how else can we tell about the Portacan poetry?
Oh
right?
my god, dude! I have seen some insane stuff in Porta Johns, dude.
I can top it all. I guarantee. Sorry,
Dude,
I guarantee you, I can top it all.
dude, Porta John wall graffiti is worse than anything you'll ever see on Twitter. Ever, they don't allow it on Twitter. They won't allow the shit. That's
Nope.
sorry.
They barely allow it in real life.
Yeah, dude, I've seen some heinous things, but it's funny, man.
Karen says, Mr. Hat, I'd love to know what you said to Jay if you'd like to share in Creole. He said, sir, I watch all your videos. God blesses you.
That's so cool.
There you go.
That's so cool, man.
I lived in Haiti for a few years. I had to learn the language. So
I remember you saying that.
I'm really rusty though, man. It's like I gotta get I should probably like take a course to kind of get it back. I don't think I'm going back to that country for a while.
I don't think anybody's going back to that country for a while.
I want to grab this real quick because it'll disappear.
You might end up on the barbecue.
Just a regular chat. Oh, dude, that would be so cool. I don't think Jay would fly out for the barbecue though. But anyway, Jay, what inspired
Not
you
what
to
I was talking about, but
do the walking the planet?
I travel, like, if you don't know, I have a channel called Jay Walking the Planet. It's nothing that I upload a lot to. It's I just like to vlog my traveling, and I wish I had started it a lot sooner. I wish I had started that when I was like in Haiti, when I was actually in Haiti to record a lot of the stuff that we were doing there. So that is just a pure fun channel. Like, places that I go, I plan on like, I'm going to a lot of places. First time I was in Canada, I got to see the protest against Gina. That was kind of funny. And all 3 people, and that smelled. And then I'm just going everywhere. I'm going to Germany for the first time, I believe, this year. And October, I'm going to Astoria to go to the Goonies house. The owner of the Goonies house reached out to me.
That's awesome.
And they're going to let me hang out at the house. They're like, we know you're a big fan, Jay, like this and that. And it's like, I was like, okay, you got me. Who is this? Like, is this you, Billy? Like right? Teasing? You better not be fooling, And so it's like, no, we're not fooling. Here's this. And I got to talk to them on the phone, and it's pretty cool. So I just like putting those things together. Like, that's the channel I could look back on and be like for Christmas, I went to Bath, North Carolina, and Beaufort, and I did the entire Blackbeard tour, like walk. It's because he used to live there, and he died there, and his ship sunk there, and it was like, that was like, to me, was awesome, man. So I just wanted to record it. So like, that's the channel I could look back and go, look where all I've been, man. Like taking a train and all over the world. Going back to Drunk 3PO, it's like, I did a lot of Galactic Star Cruiser videos. I don't know if that's going to be, 10 years from now, you're like, oh yeah, I remember that thing. Oh, that was cool.
That's shut down now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's done. So my channel's done now too, because like it's not still around. But no, it's like I love that channel. Me and Gina Carano did a road trip. She got pulled over by the cops. I got to record the whole thing.
That was hilarious.
So
I saw the picture. That was great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Dude, you are way too interesting to be over here. What the hell are you doing over here?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's promoting his book.
Yeah, that's what I buy my
by
book.
Not talking about it.
Well, it's not available yet. Hopefully, we're going to launch it at the end of April, maybe the first week in May.
Ooh.
Eric, I don't know if he's still in the chat. I told him, I want him to work at his pace. I don't want to rush. Even though jokes aside, it's like I want him to feel good about his work. It's like, people will wait. If I have to wait another 2 weeks, if I got to wait another month, they'll wait. It'll be fine. It's not, time goes by so fast, before you know it, it's just like, it's already a year. You guys know how it is.
Sometimes you just got to let the creatives
have kids.
cook.
It goes by faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, and while he's doing that, I'm getting the 3rd and 4th one done. So it's like, once he's done, I'm like, okay, here you go. So like, he's my guy, dude. Eric is amazing. When I got to meet him and talk with him while I was looking, because the original artist for Blue, Lily, she lives in Hawaii, and when she was done, I was like, all right, you ready to do the second one? And we were all, because I liked her style, and like, we were all gung-ho. And then she got her dream job wherever it was, and she just was like, I can do it, Jay, but it might take 3 times longer. And she goes, it's probably best that I don't, because you're going to be waiting a long, and this job I travel a lot and stuff, so it's like no problem. So then I just went looking for another artist, and then when I found Eric, he was I go through a lot of indie comics, whether I talk about them or not, but Merkmaid was out there, and I was like,
we had them on the show, dude.
yeah, so you've had
great-
Eric on the show, so you know Eric.
Oh,
Yes.
that Eric.
Yeah.
Eric Hudson.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've seen you post about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But,
I went through Merkmaid and I was like, I bought it and I was like, oh, this thing is awesome. And I'm like, who the freak is the artist? And it was like Eric, and then they had his information. And I just sent him a message. I was like, just out of curiosity, are you busy? Like, like if I asked you to do this, like, what do you think? He sent me a couple test images. I fell in love with it. Then I got to meet him and heard his story. Have you heard his story?
No. Wait, did we get into that on the show?
A little bit.
A little
So
bit.
basically, he got a disease, and as an artist, his hands like froze together, and he was like, "What am I supposed to do now, God? Like, this was my job." And he actually draws better now with his hands, and it helped. Well, I let him tell it, but like it helped him like reconnect with God, like knowing that God could do anything, and it's such a freaking awesome story. I'm like, all right, I got enough work for you for like the next 5 years. So if you can deal with me, then we'll be good to go.
He's really awesome, dude. I've been
dude, he's
watching
freaking
his con posts whenever he gets out places to see if there's one nearby, because I just want to go out and say hello to him.
He's awesome, man. He's awesome,
really cool
and I couldn't be happier. So
I cannot believe I didn't make that connection, and now I'm thinking
that's all
about it.
good.
Well,
Also,
here's the bad part. I follow you on Twitter. I've seen you. I'm like, I knew that you were working with him, but tonight it just I don't know, synapses. I don't know.
That's okay.
No, it's not. But thank you for
live in a
lying to
barn.
me.
It's all right.
My wife
question,
would
Jay.
love that. My life,
no
she's been
brain, wig
wanting
empty.
to. She's like, we could just sell the house and get it like that.
Jay, let me ask you, when the campaign
I have a question too.
A Chromatic Green drops, will there be a chance to rebuy Blue? Because much as I hate to say, I love indie comics and I wish I could grab everybody's, but my
That's
wallet
expensive,
my wallet is not as big as my heart, and I missed it the first time around.
Absolutely. When Eric July announced that I was going to be on Rip Ascend, and most people, shockingly enough, didn't know who the heck I was or what I had to offer. So my DMs and Twitter just exploded with people like, "Hey, I saw you were here. You said you're launching the second book. Can we get the first one?" And I'm like, absolutely. It'll be available. So we'll do the first one will be, for anyone that missed it, they'll be available to get the first one. It might we might be working with a different printing company. So the people that got the first round might have a special different type of edition, maybe.
Nice.
But it'll be one of those things. Because what I want is, like, if they get both, like, I want to make sure that they could stack them in the bookshelves, and it's not all weird, So that's all.
All right, Daniel, I know you have a question, and then we're going to get to super chats and questions from everybody in the chat. Yep. So, Daniel, what's your question?
I actually don't have a question. I'm doing Royce's job for him. Andrew Campbell has been waiting all week to ask, where do you get your ideas from, Jay?
I'm usually inspired by films that I enjoy. So if you read Achromatic Chronicles Blue, you could probably see a hint of Neverland. You could probably see a hint of the movie The Giver. There's pirates in that book. And so all that, I get inspired by a lot of the stories that I actually I actually love, and it's like, of course, I just pull in and just put them in there. So the green takes a crazy turn. So where a lot of people are like, I guess it's going to go this way, but it takes a crazy turn. And yeah, the backlash that I'm getting because there's a black girl on the cover is really something.
Oh my God.
Woke!
I was
people
like,
been calling you woke? Have people been calling you woke yet?
yeah, it's
Oh my
crazy.
God,
It's so like
dude.
the crazy thing is Fortuna is in the first book, right? She's in the first book, and I guess it's slight spoilers.
Yeah.
And
No.
John, who's the star of book one, is in the first. He's his best friend is Fortuna. But the cool thing about Green is that we wrote them in a way where they're happening at the exact same time.
I was hoping you would do
So
that.
it's like, so a lot of the questions that weren't answered in Blue, like how did this girl get here? Like how did this happen? How did this happen? We were able to write it that these two are going to be so unique because it's going to follow the same timeline. So in Green, there'll be hint to John finding Blue, and there'll be hints to how Fortuna found Green, and obviously from the color. And holy crap, dude, you got $100 super chat. Look at that.
Yeah.
You got like
that's
3 of those
cool.
last week.
Yeah, I saw that.
Love to see it, man.
Yeah, that is Kikomon, which means I'm going to have to interrupt the show.
Yeah, go for it.
Because
That's awesome.
Kikomon for $100. Jesus, dude.
That's awesome, man. Look at that love.
Shout out to Evely for the metal version of the Kikomon song. Jay, we're going to play this, and the reason that we're going to play this is because he is actually shouting out another member of my community who does music for people in such an awesome freaking way. I've just got to pull it up and make sure that YouTube works and I don't crash my computer and that I know how to share it. And oh God, hey, look at that. There's ads.
He's doing my G and I music for me.
Don't you just like, yeah, Evely Music does a lot of music for the indie space, for comic book trailers and a whole bunch of stuff, dude. It's freaking, Evely is an absolutely fantastic musician. Let me get this pulled up. Sorry, I was getting past the ads because it had to play 3 of them. Don't you just love that when it does that? Share the screen here. This is for $100 the Fight Kikomon song from Evely Music. Hopefully it's not too loud. Here we go. Music done by Evely Music. He's down in the chat.
That's awesome.
It's so great, dude. And this is a cover of an old internet video, and he killed it, dude. Made it metal. It's awesome.
So good, man.
I
love it.
I want to play this video game so bad. Like, dude, they freaking killed it, dude. It's so freaking good. It's so freaking good.
The best.
Dude, Evely is an amazing musician. We have several amazing musicians, but yeah, he does a lot of work for. He's done work for Daniel, and actually, Evely
Lots of stuff.
Evely and AC Pritchard, I believe, just helped Jared Christman with his Western movie that he's doing.
Yep.
Which is Missouri Breaks Ballad of Missouri Bill, and that is a complete indie production. The movie
looks so good.
Oh my God, dude. And it's old school. It's shot still camera, wide camera angles. It looks so freaking good, man. What the Iron Age has just inspired so many people to do so many things. And it's genuinely hard to keep up with the amount of fantastic stories that are out
It's
there.
amazing, man.
Dude, it's so freaking cool. Like
I was helping him with the trailer that he's setting up for the movie, and dude,
wait,
more
did you
scenes.
you got a sneak peek?
I did.
Screw you. Dude, it's like, well, that's why, I was talking about value earlier, Jay, right? And I look at all of the people around me and I'm like, I'm not going to get left in the dust. If you guys, if I'm going to surround myself with you people and you're running, I got to run with you, right? And so that's what you just got to, I've surrounded myself with people and I see what they do every day and I'm like, God, I got to step it up. And that is the best crowd of people that I could have ever surrounded myself with, are the people that make me feel like, oh, nope. No matter what level I thought I was at, I need to get, you know what I mean? But it's just because you look at people and how hardworking they are and it inspires you to do it. Not like I don't need to compare myself to them, but I want to make sure that I earn my spot to stand next to them. You know what I mean? Just in a totally different way. It's so cool. Sorry, there's so many cool creators that are just a part of this community, and I wanted to tell you about some of them because
I love it, man. I love it.
Dude, there's so many. Wrangler came in at the top of the show, and he dropped a super chat for $4.20. Nothing, no words to say on that. Maji Chan for $2 says, Jay, can I get a cosplay sword? Too broke to afford a real one.
A cosplay sword.
Well, you were talking that you're working with a
Foam
blacksmith. So, can you make some some fake versions of them so that way, like
foam, like the foam one?
Well, I mean, that's between you and the people that want to buy it from you, but like maybe plastic or.
We also might give one away. So, like some kind of competition.
There you go.
So be ready.
Be ready, ladies and gentlemen.
You could probably do like a N20 maybe for cheap. Just a basic. Easy
those swords are
metal.
gonna be. I don't know what the price range is gonna be. We're gonna how much the labor and metal and all that stuff costs. So we'll see.
I mean, if you're just doing like a replica version,
these are going to be battle ready pirate cutlasses.
Oh, yeah.
From the golden age of pirates, probably the swords that they would have.
Expensive.
So they're not going to have a sheath. So like all that stuff we're going to be really careful to make sure that, but we will have a company. There's already a company that reached out that were like, if people order the sword and they want a sheath, then, they could reach out to us before we send it. So it's gonna be cool, man. I'm excited about both these projects. It's like, again, I love YouTube. I love what YouTube has done for me, but it's like this is just where my heart is right now. So this is just like, it's exciting.
You gotta level up, man. You gotta level up.
It's exciting. Yeah, it's just like again, like the drama and stuff gets tiring really quick.
Yeah,
and I love the energy that the new groups are coming up with. Like they're fighting the cultural war and everything. It's like, yeah, I was there for the last Jedi days. You'll never forget that war, man. The last Jedi war was really something, man. That was the creation of the fandom menace and all that stuff. Like that was my big war. So it's like the next one. Now we're in Gamergate 2, and it's like, yeah, you guys can have that one. Like, I'm not gonna get in that one. So
not even worth talking about.
No, but there's people out there they're right in that fight, man. They're threatening to get sued by these companies for talking about. It's crazy.
Well, dude, the only thing worth talking about the whole Gamergate 2 situation, and I did a video on it and got absolutely murdered, was the fact that the FBI and Homeland Security are going to be looking into gamers over Gamergate 2. And they're going to be listening to voice chats and stuff. So
Shit like that
was
is
the only-
why.
Yeah, that was the only thing that I thought was, I was like, what? And apparently when
Wow,
you put
man.
Homeland Security in the title of your video, YouTube nukes it.
Oh yeah.
Duh.
I mean, though, like this is a wild year, right? It's an election year. You got conservative media fighting like crazy, you know.
Mostly with each other.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like they just can't get out of their own way. Now you've got this whole gamer gate thing that's just like popping off. You got people in indie comics fighting with each other, and it's just like, well, while all that's going on, I'm just gonna make a little kid's book about finding a color.
Yep.
Dude,
And let
like-
them all handle that, you know. I was in the Last Jedi fight days. Like now I'm like in the creative phase. I'll make my pirate channel.
Thank you
You
for
know?
your service.
You know, I when I need to talk pop culture, I'm on Geeks and Gamers. I love those guys over there, Jeremy and Ryan, and you know the whole crew over there has just been Beardo. They're my family, you know, and so. And I'm going to be traveling to Comic Cons all year. So maybe after this year, I'll rest a little bit, sell some books, and go, oh, yeah, maybe let's see what's going on in the world. We'll turn on Twitter again and see what's happening. And I'll probably be like, yeah, I'm enjoying life right now. Like, let me just enjoy
Be like
it.
that scene from Community when Donald Glover's character walks back into the apartment and it's on fire and the one dude
Yeah.
shot and they're all screaming.
Right.
It's just
Like-
wild, man. I the last time I think we were like actually as a whole, it's kind of crazy. Was actually the Fandom Menace days. I think that was like a unique uniting of people, right? If you weren't there, or the Last Jedi day, if you weren't
I
there, then
remember
you
it.
won't know what we're talking about.
I was there.
That's how
I
I
wasn't, I wasn't
that's how
making
Jeremy.
content, but I was there.
Yeah, that's how Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers found me. That's how his, you know, that was kind of the start of Geeks and Gamers and Gary and all, you know, the whole nine. And what happens in almost any movement, it just outgrows itself, you know, and people, you know, like we're all together fighting. We got to fight Star Wars. Okay, well, now I want to go over here and do this, and I want to go over here and do that, and I want to go over here and do that, and I wish you guys well, but I'm gonna go over here and do this, and you know that's usually what happens in any movement, in any movement.
And
so
you know
it's
what's
not
really
a bad
funny?
thing, but it's just what happens. You know? And then there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I wish, you know, but it's just what happens, man.
And you know what's really funny about that is occasionally I will come across somebody that, you know, one of the haters of the Fandom Menace, and they'll call it, you know, the Fandom Menace
Yeah.
and whatnot, and they'll attack it. And they're still referring to it as like they have not caught on to the fact that the channels that got big under the Fandom Menace have not used that hashtag
for
or that
years, man.
moniker for years, and they are still attacking, but they're trying to say you're just a small minority of fans, but like, you're still attacking the idea of something that is been over for several years now. Like that really just goes to show that, you know, who's inside whose head, who's
It's
living
funny,
rent
it's
free
like-
where.
I know, a small group of fans, right? They're on Pierce Morgan. They're traveling with celebrities now. They're starting businesses. Several of them, different ones, have $1 million Indiegogo campaigns. You know, there's some, like you said, people. Epic Verse is getting ready to launch, you know, their own movies, things like that. It's like there's a lot that came out of that little circle. You know, there's a lot that came out of that little circle.
Well, and don't
you know,
forget, you guys taught guys like me it was okay to talk about that stuff on YouTube. And it was also okay to talk about the stuff you have fun with on YouTube. And it's also okay to fight with some people on YouTube. And it's also okay to all this stuff that I didn't think was okay. Like, for those of you, and the funny thing is like the half of the reason that the channel color for A Drink with Crazy is green is because of Geeks and Gamers. That's half the reason. The other half the reason I was like, well, we're going to call it A Drink with Crazy. And I was like, well, what color fits drinking? I was like, well, the Irish drink, that's green. Like, that's totally. And then I was like, well, in Geeks and Gamers, their stuff is green and they're doing so. Like, literally, like, it was literally like, it's the Irish like to drink, so we're gonna go with green, and also Geeks and Gamers is green, so let's rock with green. Like legitimately, that the most screwed up reason, but that's why the channel color is green today. And I set this back up in 2018. Now, I just sucked getting involved back then, but that's when this channel was started. And that's the thing. You talk about, like, you guys inspire a bunch of people, and some of us are late bloomers, and it's taken us forever to grow and build. But as you guys move on, other people
I could care less about subscribers. Like, the fact that I'm at I'm at 77. I think I've been at 77K for 2 years now. It's like, there's a group of people, like I said earlier, that are there that if I had 500 subs, but I still had them, that's all I want. You know, it's like this YouTube, I don't want to come off like this is a humble brag or anything, but it's like this life since being a part of Geeks and Gamers has been something I just never thought would be possible. People that I've met, working with 9line Apparel, meeting all these 2A famous people like these multimillionaires from like 221B Tactical, Real World Tactical, the guy that was in, he was in Call of Duty, you know, like his name is Tony, like just being on that side of like business and life. And, you know, then on the nerd side over here, seeing what Gary, Eric, EVS and others, what they have done with themselves, you know, successful, what they have done on a professional level, seeing what, just being around all that, you know, and even like the whole Gina Carano thing, like what the heck was that all about, right? And then
that was the weirdest thing,
dumb.
dude. I like, as an outside observer, that was.
Well, no, I
like,
mean,
not
like
weird
her,
in like a bad way.
like her welcoming YouTubers and bringing bringing me, not only me, but like others into this Hollywood world. So she's like, you really want to see what's going on, you know, behind the curtain? Here, we'll show you.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was weird because it's like that didn't happen. And then on top of that,
right,
it was the Geeks and Gamers world.
Yeah,
it wasn't like other people. It was it was like this niche community.
But there's also Dean Cain, Matthew Marsden, you know, like all the, and okay, they're not Tom Cruise, but I mean, they have a perspective of the industry that we talk about on a regular that we don't have because we were never. Are you kidding me? If I got to play Superman and that's the only thing I had in life, I'd be happy. Right. You know, like Dean Cain, but
he's so good though. In the other stuff that he's done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And
same
and
with
it's
Kevin
just
Sorbo, very underrated because of the backlash that conservatives and particularly Christians get in mainstream media.
It's been a wild ride because, again, in those last Jedi days, YouTubers were looked at as the scum scraping bottom of the barrel, ticks in your skin. They're horrible things. They're the worst. They're alt-right. They're all this. They're all that. I mean, that's what the Last Jedi brought out. And now we're in this new realm of you guys are the new media. You guys are the ones that people listen to. They respect your opinions. This is where I want to put my money in. Like, who, you know, how many YouTubers out there would love to get $100 super chat once in their life, right?
True.
A lot, right? And if
not
you look
everybody has a come on.
If you look at
fuck you guys,
if you look at YouTube stats, like real YouTube stats, the amount of YouTubers that get to 100,000 is like 1% of the 57 million YouTube channels out there. We pulled up some of the stats like on my live stream. I don't know if it was this week or it was like 2 weeks ago.
What is it?
And it was like the amount
10% hit 10,000. Was it the top 10%?
Yeah. It's like it's like even those that got monetized, the people that would make over $5 in super chats, it's like 3% of YouTube. That's how bad. Like, so the fact that that your channel is where it's at, the fact that you got a super chat, the fact that all those things are, you are on the higher end of YouTube than what a lot of creators where they'd love to be at. I'm subscribed to channels of people that I know that I love, and they can't even get cracking past 300 subs. You know, they just can't. They've been doing it for like 5 years. And it's not that their channels are bad. It's not that it's just it. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a blessing to be right where we are for. You know, Gary hits 1 million subs. I think that's amazing. It's Drinker has 1 million subs. It's amazing. They are in the top, like
they're
Tim
the
Pool.
0.1%.
Like,
they're the 0.1%.
So like, there's a website you can go on to see who gets the most super chats. You know, every week, right? They rate it, and it's like it's everyone that we know out of all of YouTube, bro. So it's like there's something about this community where people are like, going back to the original, it's like, I'm tired of mainstream media. I'm tired of the entertainment. I'm tired of movies. I'm tired of what they putting out on streaming. It doesn't matter anymore. I'm going to take my hard-earned money. I'm going to put it here. So there you go. And now like these companies are starting to take notice. Where before YouTubers were the scum of the earth, now it's like, man, people are sending them money. They should be sending us money. People are sending, like, they're listening to them. Like they should. Yeah. So it's crazy, man.
What they failed to realize is that a lot of the YouTubers spend, they're fans. They are hardcore, passionate fans who like to talk about that. This has always been nerd culture. Okay, back from when I was, in a nerd culture back as a, young guy, young teen. And we like to sit around and we bullshit about our hobbies, the things we like, and have discussions and just what goes on Friday Night Tights every Friday. That's just what friends did. That's what we did all the time. We didn't have cameras to do it with. And now we have the opportunity to, go out there and do this in front of a camera and a microphone with people who share our like-minded interests. And they thought that we're just the unwashed masses. Really what we are the passionate fans who spend our money on these things. And when they came in chasing an audience that does not exist and is only in it for, the virtue signal points on social media, but they're not actually watching it. They're not actually pushing it. And they're not having discussions about it. They're mindlessly praising it. And then they drove us out. Jay, I was a Star Wars fan from the time I was 13 years old.
On that note, I'm going to let you finish, John. I got to get to super chats.
Okay. Sorry. Let me finish one chat.
You're good. You're good.
He's also got to go soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. John's also got to leave soon. So I don't know. I don't know if anybody's going to ask him a question, and he's going to keep ranting until somebody asks. And he's going to be like, hey, guys, I got to leave. And then he's going to leave. And then Drunk 3PO is going to leave. And then all the questions that I have. Drunk 3PO was the first
orcs. They're always in the way.
I ever had who was like, hey, guys, I got to go. And I had like 10 questions for you after you left. And I was like, I'm such an asshole. So I would like to get to the super chats.
I'm good. I'm not going anywhere. You're good.
That's disturbing. I would like you to, eventually. Never mind. Every
what was I saying?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Star Wars, motherfucking Star Wars. Okay. Yeah, that's where the conclusion that I came to, like the way they attacked fans, and that's to me is the most egregious part of everything they did, was they attacked fans, people who got it popular to begin with. That's the thing that really got under me. I went from being a lifelong Star Wars fan through the expanded universe. I put up with the prequels and whatnot. I read comics, video games, everything. And I'm at the point now, Jay, that I wish I could go back in time and bully my younger self into not being a Star Wars fan. That's the level of apathy now that I have for this franchise. That I'm beyond just hate. I'm like Razorfist says, the opposite of love is not hate. It's apathy. Mm-hmm. And it's all because they did not value us as fans. And I am more than 2 years ago, I fled out of mainstream entertainment, basically. Everything you see here behind me, these are all independently published books, including my own. I wrote what I wanted to I wanted to read. I read other independent creators, and that extends to the indie comics that I watch. All my entertainment is indie books, comics, and YouTube. And they have, that's my money going into the hands of indie creators. I could not possibly give a shit, the tiniest bit of one, for what they make in mainstream now. Everybody talks about, oh, look, you got to try this show. No, I don't. I'm tired, because I don't have any faith that they'll adapt anything well, especially not something that's already been made. You like Pirates of the Darkwater. I don't want them to touch it. I love that show. Leave it alone. Leave these things
Dude,
we like alone.
I've heard them threatening to do Treasure Planet, and I'm like, please don't.
They've run out of ideas.
Don't touch. Oh,
They never had any ideas to begin with.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
true.
that visionaries are once in a generation usually, and the sad part is we're in a generation where everybody thinks they're a visionary, and that's the problem.
Yes.
And they don't have the life experience to back that kind of creativity up.
Well,
Like,
even
here-
George
that's
Lucas
what
originally
Mario
wanted
Trujillo.
to reboot Flash Gordon. That's the whole reason we got Star Wars, because he couldn't get his hands on the IP.
Gentlemen.
Yes, fine. Super chats, go.
No, I'm going to say thank you both, because you're doing the thing that I usually do, and now I know how it feels. I'm sorry. Maybe, probably not. It's the alcohol talking. I don't usually apologize to you people. Anyway, Mario Trujillo for $5 says, by and large, most people suck. Maybe.
Correct.
A few are okay. And
Sometimes they
only a
swallow.
handful are genuinely good. Best of luck, Jay. You're an okay dude. Royce still sucks. Get the go. Fuck.
Thank you.
Wow. The ultimate kahuna for $1.99. Who's the loudest person you have streamed with?
Me?
I don't know. He's
Fear the
that was a
Beardo.
general. Fear the Beardo.
He's freaking loud. It's annoying.
There was somebody that was louder than me, and I don't remember who it was. God, who was it? I can't think. Daniel, who was it? Do you remember?
Who?
The loudest. Who's the loudest person that we streamed with? Do you remember?
It would be a toss-up between the Saskas and Piper.
That's yes. Yeah. When you get the Saskas in here and those girls both start going off, it like that. Yeah.
And Piper,
Yeah.
when she gets excited, just
Piper's
her-
great.
she soars octaves.
Dude, Piper worked on. She's the writer for AR-13L.
Yep.
The Little Mermaid.
Mermaid.
Piper is the writer for that. I love Piper to death. She's freaking awesome. John A. Douglas, who's the loudest person you've streamed with?
Loudest? I don't know. Honestly, can't think off the top of my head. Most of I interview a bunch of introverted authors, so most of them are kind of on the quietish side. They're not very loud and boisterous and outgoing.
I can't imagine streaming.
I'm usually the loudest, but I know how to control it.
Right.
It's a terrible responsibility.
Yeah. Well, I get you. I know how it be. Kikomon for $5. So show me, show you, Kikomon.
You, Royce. You're the loudest person. When you get going, you're pretty loud.
Yeah.
I'll say you.
Yeah.
That's true. You get him wound up enough, yeah.
Yeah, you get me wound up enough. You get me wound up enough. The face turns red, and I start losing my shit. Yeah. So it's yeah. Sorry for muting you, 3PO. Oh my God, that's right.
Who said that?
That was Kikomon. How is everyone doing? Stay sauced. Jay popped in.
That's right. I remember that.
And didn't you send me a big ass super chat that night too?
Yeah, you were quite the jerk.
I didn't mute you. Hi, lovely wife.
It's okay.
The camera's over here, my lovely wife. Oh God. Hello. Hi. Do you want your headphones?
Yay!
Headphones.
The show is infinitely better now.
Right. Say hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
I'm just here for Jay. I mean, I like the rest of you, but it's Jay.
Fair enough.
Yep, this is my lovely lady.
He hasn't been paying attention to the chats, I noticed, because Kiko and Daniel have been going back and forth about the bet that they both will bring a goat to the barbecue now.
Please don't bring a goat to the barbecue.
We're going to make a special trip.
Please don't bring a goat to the barbecue. They might unironically do this, and then I'm going to have to take care of goats.
You wouldn't take care of shit. I would take care of goats.
Probably. All right,
And that's why we'll do it.
For $5 says, I love you. Live life on legendary. I think that's a great way to sum up the conversation we had earlier.
Yes.
I think that's a great way to sum that up. Oh, God, what did you just do to my chair?
I had to move the handle. It was digging into my ass. I'm sorry.
Well, good thing it's broken. It's broken now. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's got a crack in it.
Sometimes.
Hail the lore. Member for 9 months. Royce pre-ordered Starfield. That's all. I did not. You fucker. Lies and slander. Lies and slander. We read those ones a little earlier from Mr. Hat and Kikomon. And then Kikomon. Oh, no. He's going to do it again. Kikomon. He says, resurrecting the joke. What's the difference between a gay guy and a fridge? Jay, do you know? Here, Jay, I'll let you read that one for $2.
A fridge does not fart when you pull. Oh.
Welcome to my
Best
channel.
reaction ever.
I wish I could tell my favorite jokes here.
We're not allowed to
I
tell your
know.
favorite jokes. We're on YouTube, my
The
love.
barbecue.
Oh, dude, yeah, the things that she and I say to each other are not YouTube friendly
The barbecue's going to be awesome.
in any way.
Kiko, man, you got to save those for the blue collar stream.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be nuts. Hey, Jay, do you have anything else that you would like to say to everybody before we get going for the evening?
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
I'll be back when my book launches so I could squeeze out every chance I can to shill it.
Dude, I'm not even gonna say I'm not even gonna make a joke. Like, you want to be back here? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I actually learned a lot tonight from you too. I'm gonna take that shit to the grave. And I hope everybody else does. Mr. Daniel P. Riley, good sir, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me at whimsyland.org, literary coaching and services, where I help creators define and create the very best stories and things that they want to put out there. And just so everybody knows, I got the next 10 pages of Jisadai issue number 2 in from my artist. The final set of 10.
1.
Yep. We'll be going out to him over the weekend before I settle in for Easter Sunday. And then we just have 2 splash pages and I'll be ready to go to production. So second issue coming in 4 months total.
And an awesome shout out to Games XP store in Decorah that now carries the Jisadai comic, the first one.
He's in stores, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. And they loved it too. Everybody there was raving about it, man. Local game store close to us, and they loved it, dude.
I can't even describe how it feels to hear that when Albany was sending me those messages. I had to play that video like 3 times. And then once more for my daughter when she got home from work.
I don't think I told you this, but I told the owner that you'd be coming in, and he's really excited to meet you.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Making connections, guys. That's what we
do. So cool. Otherwise, you can find me on the Twix at Mr. DP Riley.
On the Twix. That's what we call Twitter here, because Twitter plus X equals Twix.
Yep.
I will never.
They paid me a lot this month.
I haven't even got the blue thing over there because I'm like, I don't know.
You want to thank Wrangler?
It's a little bit of pocket change. Nothing wrong with that.
Wrangler just gifted 5 Drink with Crazy memberships. Dude, holy crap, thank you.
That's awesome.
So much, man. John A. Douglas, you were our guest host for this evening. You and your smarmy ass. What do you do? Where
The
can we find you?
usurper.
I am. You guys can find me as author John A. Douglas on pretty much everywhere. Facebook, Minds, Truth, Instagram. Well, actually,
Orcsargay.com.
Yeah. And you can find my book, my debut epic fantasy, The Black Crown, available on Amazon in paperback and in Kindle Unlimited ebook,
Reviewed
and hopefully
by
coming
Blaine Lee
soon.
Pardoe.
Huh?
Reviewed by Blaine Lee Pardoe of BattleTech
Yes.
fame, and Blaine had good things to say about it.
And
My
I was
jaw
Good
hit
book.
the deck when Blaine reviewed that, dude. I was like, I was like, John's hit the big leagues, dude.
and hopefully soon coming in hardcover. If my editor can make a little bit of time to get back with me,
I'm trying to work my magic.
I know
bro.
we've had some issues with the formatting
That's
because
awesome,
this is a
man.
thick book, and when it comes to hardcovers, they have like a page limit, and we keep
It's so
eking
chunky.
just over it. Yeah. So we have to alter things and change things, but
We
soon
like
as this
chunky
is-
books, though.
yeah, this is
I do like
a
chunky.
lot of fun.
I'm aiming for hitting that max cap, just like right there on the line, so they have to print every single page.
That would be hilarious. That would be absolutely hilarious.
That's
But
freaking awesome.
you know, and you guys can find me over on Twitter/X as at BLK author, BLK Crown author. Because
If you hashtag asshole, you'll definitely find him. Don't worry.
yeah,
That's
I'm over there every day fighting with retards and shills.
Dude, you're
Look for
almost as
every
bad as Hail the
argument
Lord.
on
I
Twix.
didn't-
You'll find John.
I didn't think that anybody could be worse than you, and then Hail the Lord. I was just like, oh,
He's coming for
they're-
my crown.
dude.
He
He
is.
really is, dude. He's going for that Twitter battle crown that you've had for like 6 months. And I was like, I want to see you two fight about some. Just start some stupid fight with Hail the Lord. I just want to watch you guys go back. It'd be absolutely fantastic to see that.
I don't know what
You
we
know,
fight
so-
about.
I don't know, something. You guys like to fight? Just fight.
I just want to see you deposed for what you did earlier.
Should we remind Royce of when Maji said that he needs to picture goats licking peanut butter off his toes?
Stop! Stop with the feet
I thought
stuff.
that would be a nice way to end the stream.
It would ruin his pedicure and
I
paint.
feel like I'm at
Oh
the
my
Oscars,
God.
man. He's
He
like,
can
we're
drizzle
done
the
no matter
white-
what.
He can drizzle
Jay, you
the
got
white
nothing
claw
else.
after.
I don't care what you have to say.
Jade, you got something else?
I know.
If you have something else, you can say it. We're still live. It's just the
Orcs are
outro.
lame. Royce is gay.
Jay, what's your favorite gamer word?
Melanie Mac.
That's a gamer word to a lot of people out there.
Well played, sir.
Well played. Oh,
Perfect to go out
man.
on.
Thank you, everybody, for being here on Iron Age Nights, episode 76. It's been so fantastic hanging out with Drunk 3PO again.
Yo.
Dude, thanks for stopping by, man. Oh, God, I'm about to knock stuff over. This is a
Happy
bad thing.
Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter and Good
Happy
Friday.
Easter.
Christ is king.
Oh, God.
Indeed.
Everything is falling over. This is bad.
Christ is king. And Royce
Hail
is
Beard!
destroying his wall again. But
It's not the wall. It's other things. It's fine. And ladies and gentlemen,
we
as
can't
always,
see it this time.
No. Oh God, there goes Daniel's comic. What is happening? What's going on? I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning into Iron Age Nights. Do not forget to tune in at 11 a.m. Central this Sunday for Sunday Coffee, where I read all of your comments. And until next time, cheers, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.